mean, it's probably asking for too much because it's Nintendo and online and all that. But is there a possibility of co-op? Or at the very least, maybe she'd be like some sort of companion that you could play with. She'd like walk with you and maybe you can switch between the two characters. That'd be neat. Like a Luigi Gooigi sort of thing. Hey, piece of power. Also, I wish the game didn't do that every single time you picked up a piece of power. Playable Zelda, please. I'd actually prefer her to be the sole playable character rather than co-op or rotating characters, but that is personal preference. I would totally play a game that was just The Legend of Zelda starring Zelda. I don't know if the world is ready for that yet. Like, if it has to be, we'll make her a playable character, but Link is still the main character as, like, your starting point, and the next time around, after you've gotten people warmed up to the idea of playing as Zelda, then she gets her own game, then I'm cool with that. Ta-da! But yeah, I think the lore has shown enough of, like, Zelda's backstory and her abilities that she could totally star in her own action-adventure RPG. Also, I hope they're really leaning into the horror angle they kind of showed off in the trailer. Zelda gets really interesting when it's dark. Ah, a la Majora's Mask, which is a Zelda game that I have not really played. I was immediately off-put by that whole time reset angle, but I honestly should go back to that, give it another try. Finally, I hope they fill out the world more, greater emphasis on side characters, and more stuff to do in towns and stuff. Yeah, that makes sense. I'd like that as well. Personally, I would like more... slightly more traditional dungeons. I felt like they were overly heavy on puzzle solving and a little light on combat. Uh-oh. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh yeah, for sure. Mm-hmm. Hey, we got a beak. You found a stone beak. Now to find an owl statue to fit it into. Turn aside the spined ones with a shield. Alright, just checking something here real quick. Oh, and I got hit. That's not good. Alright. I certainly don't mind the rotating mechanics and whatnot, but having the dungeons be meatier and a bit closer to the classic formula would be great. Agreed. I'm curious to see, I mean, I was going to say curious to see where Zelda goes next. We already know. Well, we know it's a successor to Breath of the Wild, but I wonder how much impact Breath of the Wild has going forward on the franchise. It's sold incredibly well. I think now it's the best-selling Zelda game of all time, and it's going to be that by a landslide. If we get more games in the series, or maybe they get more adventurous, maybe make them larger in scope. Bing. Oh, give me that paper. Nope, it's gone. I love these sections too. I don't know, it just... I mean, it's not the first time Zelda has done 2D. Zelda 2 technically has the 2D stuff in it as well, but I like the change of pace. Da-na. Hey! Man, this, like, now that I'm playing the other... I'm a lot farther in the game. This dungeon seems like such a piece of cake. Like, what are we doing here? Nice. Hop over. Oh, now we can jump over there. I'm not actually sure that's where I'm supposed to go, but I do need a key. We'll jump over some things and figure it out. It's fine if we just wander for a bit, right? So, Ian, I had this idea. Like, I've written the post, but I thought I'd propose it to you as a conversation piece. So, now that Wind Waker has gotten this sort of remake treatment, cleaned it up, the graphics. Now, I think I might have proposed this actually on the Double Jump stream, but for everybody else on this one, if you are not following the Triple Jump expanded universe, what Zelda game would you like to see next get the not the Wind Waker treatment, the Link's Awakening treatment? I know a lot of the Zelda games have now been kind of ported or remastered in some shape or form. There's still some out there that have not gotten any sort of modern iteration. And so, if there had to be one, if there's one you wanted to see get touched up, what would it be? I made 3 picks for the record, and we'll talk about those after. Alright, so we don't have... I'm still missing a key. How am I... Okay. Jeez. Such a rookie mistake. Is it faster for me to just warp back? No, we'll walk. Probably Skyward Sword for me. Also, Ian says probably Skyward Sword for me. I wasn't a huge fan of any of the other portable ones, and I think a remastered version of Skyward Sword could make some changes that would make the game more palatable. Less imprisoned battles, for example. Alright. That is on my list. And I think for me, it's, can you make this game without motion controls, please? And I don't know, that might be too unrealistic of an expectation, considering so much of that game was crafted with motion controls in mind. But imagine if you could play that game without motion controls. Like, I've said, like, I had a really poor experience with Skyward Sword because of those motion controls. That if I could just, even if it is a somewhat lesser experience because I can't flail my arm around, I would take it gladly. Also, this just kind of circled me all the way around. I'm missing a key somewhere, and how come I don't have it? Like, I can hop over there now, it's just... Huh. What am I missing? Like, seriously, what? Oh, geez, I'm an idiot. Okay. The very first door. Let's go. Yep, so the 3 games I would pick. Skyward Sword for 1. I would like to see that game without motion controls, please. Just give me the option. You can keep the motion controls in there. I would just like an opportunity to play it without motion controls. There's the key. Alright. The next one I picked was Zelda 2. Now, Zelda 2, I would probably say, is the worst Zelda game. Although, to be fair, I probably haven't played enough of that game to fairly judge. Because it's a really oddball game. It's so far removed from what Zelda is and grew into that it's almost a completely different thing. But I wonder if maybe there were aspects of that game that were modernized, and maybe not even like... Oh. Like, I'm not even asking for it to be made more like the regular Zelda games, but maybe with a modern coat of paint and maybe cleaning up some things here and there, maybe there's a really good game under there that just didn't fully come together for whatever reason. I know some people really like Zelda 2 as well, so I'm not trying to necessarily throw shade, but I would give Zelda 2 a modern version of that a chance. And the other one, this is kind of a reach. Maybe even more of a reach than Zelda 2. In certain ways. Ah, I just spilled some water on myself. Great. Nightmare Key. The third one I would pick is Legend of Zelda 4 Swords Adventures. I would like it on the Switch. I would like it with online play, with voice chat, with a party system. And of course that's not going to happen. Not because, like, I have a feeling... I wouldn't be surprised if a 4 Swords Adventures was on the way at some point. But I don't... If it has online... I don't think it's going to have online, and if it doesn't have online, it's probably going to be terrible. It is sad that Nintendo has conditioned me as such, but... Alright, boss 1. Bzz, bzz, outsider. Moldorm. Ian, do you think after you're done Link's Awakening on the regular difficulty... I don't know, did you pick hero mode by chance? And if you didn't, would you play this again in hero mode? You got a heart container. Your maximum number of hearts increased too. Oh, and your health has been refilled too. Nice. Let's get this. It's cello? Violin? You got the full moon cello. 4 Swords Adventures actually was pretty fun. I have fun memories of playing that game even alone. I've never played it. I want to get it. It's pretty expensive in the aftermarket though. Yeah, the whole limitation of having to play it with 4 Game Boy Advances and having the cables and stuff, just didn't get to it at the time. It was a little too much. Swamp. A path opens in the blooms. Alright, 1 down, 7 to go. We're gonna knock these all out tonight, right? No, not that. We'll spread this out over a couple of streams.